Many warm blessings out there today. So we're back, and I just thought I'd share a little bit about chemicals. We were the other day talking about the dirty dozen, and I believe the first piece that I addressed was chemicals. So I'll start there. So many of you were asking about, okay, so I addressed, like I said, addressed a lot of the things of what to be aware of, what not to do, and then it's important to follow up with what to do, what to fill those gaps. If we're going to take something out, it's nice to be able to leave it empty, but if we're going to fill it back up, then what are we going to put in there? So to start with foods, there's tons of chemicals in most of our foods, even if you're getting towards organic. As one of my teachers once said, he said he worked on an organic apple farm, and he said, what do you think we're using to keep the worms from getting in the apples? We're still using high, intense chemicals to keep those worms from getting into the apple, but it's not, they're considered organic chemicals. So organic food is still going to have chemicals on it. So this is part of our world this day, is that we're inundated, our body's constantly inundated with tons of chemicals. So how do we limit this? To start with, really going from your foods, having your own garden if you can, if you have the time, if you have the ability. So the closer to home that you bring in your foods, the better. So if it's from a farmer's market rather than from Whole Foods, because all of those additional steps of getting that food to your door, being shipped from one place to the next, etc., it's going through more hands. So the less hands that your food is in, the better off we are. This is foods. Obviously, we're going to go organic foods. We're going to go biodynamic foods, or even foods from our backyard. From there, let me see. So we move from foods, biodynamic, organic. If you're going to buy things, ideally that they're whole foods, so they're foods that are in their natural form, so they're not packaged, they're not full of preservatives. All of those preservatives are extremely toxic to the body. One of my friends, actually one of my father's friends, was speaking of how when he was in the Vietnam War, they noticed that the soldiers, when a soldier was killed on the American side, they noticed that it took weeks for the body to decompose. And a Vietnamese person, when they passed, that soldier passed, their body started to decompose within hours. And the difference was they were eating natural whole foods, and the Westerners were eating everything in cans, everything with preservatives, as well as the chemicals from the dry cleaner. So everything chemicaled in the clothing, the dyes that we wore or that we do wear. All of these things have an impact on how the body sustains itself, how it lives, or how it has to repel all of these things. So they noticed that way back in the 60s, and my understanding, chemicals were starting to come into mass production in food in the 50s after World War II. We had these storehouses, or these companies that were using all these chemicals for warfare, had all of these storehouses that were full of chemicals, and they're like, okay, so now what do we do with these chemicals? How do we make a buck on this? And this is the way the system works. They regenerate things and find a new way to make a buck out of them, which is in many different kinds of foods. There's many stories about canola oil this way, as well as all these kind of preservatives and stuff are coming from, a lot of these things are coming from chemicals that were used to kill other people. Now they diluted them enough so it's not going to kill you right away. It'll kill you over the long run, but it'll kill bugs immediately, etc. So anything that's going to kill a bug is also going to have some sort of a neurotoxin that's also going to affect us. So bug sprays, you want to stay away from this kind of stuff. And move towards something that's more natural. There's natural repellents that you'll find in your co-ops and your Whole Foods. I use a blend of essential oils, and at below I'll show you, I'll give you a link to the essential oil company I work with that is phenomenal. And then on that note, so chemicals that you spray, for instance, furniture polish, sprays to clean your countertops, etc. One way is to go to like Trader Joe's or to Whole Foods, and this is one that I've gotten from Trader Joe's, and it's still about maybe about half full. The problem still, this is ingredients: water, cedarwood, clary sage essential oils, grain alcohol, natural suffocants, which is already saying there's something not clean and clear in here, color, and water. So the color and suffocants, those are two things that are going to still be toxic, but it's a lot less toxic load than most of the cleaners that you're going to get from the polishes, etc. What I now do, when these are empty, I use essential oils. So this is the brand that I use called doTERRA. This one is On Guard, which is a blend of oils that specifically will kill mold and all these other inhabitants on the counters, etc., in the tub. So On Guard is a blend of essential oils that they were using. They found that there were thieves. There were thieves that were stealing from the graves during the plague time, the plague season. And when the authorities finally caught these thieves, these grave robbers, they were robbing and stealing all the jewelry from all these people because there was mass death during the plague. And they caught these thieves and were wondering, well, why weren't you getting contaminated and ill from touching all of these corpses? Because it was that transferable. And the thieves, the grave robbers, said, if you let us go, we'll tell you our blend. And they told them the blend, and it's actually this blend that's in this bottle. And that blend can be used to clear out mold in showers, in refrigerators, etc. So it clears out mold, it clears out a lot, it'll kill all of that stuff. I use it also for sore throats, to keep just health moving through the body, through the blood. So this is a great one to use both for your countertops, and also it can be used internally. This is a secondary alternative. This is going to be something that's a little less expensive, but still has some toxic load in it. So then fertilizers. So you want to use natural fertilizers. You can go to your, there's going to be natural stores, fertilizer stores, plant stores that will have natural fertilizers. You want to get away from all the toxic fertilizers. Same thing from weed killers. There's more natural-based weed killers rather than some of this stuff that's being sprayed on our properties and along our roads. So that's some of the toxic loads. When we're getting such a toxic load, it's highly impacting our organ structure. And one of the main organs that's getting hammered is the digestive tract, the parotid glands, which is where digestion starts, into the liver, etc. So I use something, I work with standard process products as well, and I can help get these for you as well. And I use a brand called Parotid, and it directly addresses how the parotid gland gets blown out through different chemicals in foods, through different chemicals in the air. I use that along with Spanish black radish, which is a cruciferous food. And so eating stuff like Spanish black radish, either in this supplement form or if you can get access to it through probably just your garden. Other things like broccoli and wow, I'm drawing a blank. Celery. These are great. Cutting up celery in little pieces and chewing that. This will help purify the blood and help move through toxins. Just a few. There's many more, but I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes. So then you also want to load up on your antioxidants, not through pill form, not through supplement form. The supplements I'm showing you here are whole foods in medicinal form. Most of the supplements you're finding out there that are out on the shelves, the body's not absorbing them, and they're actually creating a greater toxic load to the kidneys, to the liver, to the entire organ system. I would suggest, if we could, to minimize, almost eliminate most supplements and go to more whole food forms. But using supplements like Standard Process, there's a few other companies out there as well. These companies are using whole foods in a medicinal form. This is the kind of supplement that you want to use. I don't care if it's FDA approved or not. I tested my mom with all of her FDA approved vitamins, and they were all showing high toxic load. Her body was going weak with every one of the supplements, so we got her off that entire line and started getting her on Standard Process. So that's a few things. Food, I'm just trying to think. Oh yeah, dry cleaning, since I did bring that up with being one of the chemical loads. So dry cleaning, ideally you're washing it yourself. If you are taking it to a dry cleaner, it's an organic, non-chemical dry cleaner, so they're not using chemicals on the clothing, because our skin absorbs 70 is the greatest absorber in the body. It's absorbing 70% of what moves into our body. So the lotions that you put on, I suggest more a organic Ayurvedic oil. Coconut oil is an awesome option. Sesame oil in the organic form. The lotions, they have to be really, really pure, and usually they're very, very expensive to get a very pure lotion that you put on your body. So ideally you move more towards an oil or a very pure lotion if you're going to put stuff on your body, on your face, etc. Same thing with soaps. So if you're going with soaps, I go with an almond oil. You can use an Ayurvedic oil to start, and what's the cleanser in soap is the oil. So if you use an oil first and then just wash off that in your shower, you're going to cleanse off most of the toxins. I'll do that at times. I also will use, what's the brand? I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, but it's the Castile oils. So you're using a Castile oil, which is non-toxic, a organic blend of oils, and the soap is biodegradable. This is what we want to take in on top of our bodies, as well as what's going into the earth. So you want something biodegradable. Using an oil or using a form of Castile soap is probably the two top opportunities or options. And then the things that we want to do, gentle detoxing. So we want to be conscious about not detoxing too quickly. So it's a continual detox. I do oil pulling. I put coconut oil in my mouth, a teaspoon of it, and I swish that into my mouth for about 15-20 minutes. It whitens your teeth. So this is no teeth whitener, so I don't use teeth whiteners. I don't use fluoride toothpaste. But oil pulling, using oil, you pull, you just swish it around in your mouth for 15-20 minutes. You spit that out down the drain or down the toilet, because it's going to be full of toxins. You're pulling out toxins out of the blood, out of the body. So you want to spit that out. And if you notice, if you keep that in your toilet for too long, it'll make it moldy. So it's what we're pulling out is a lot of toxins. That's one gentle way of pulling out toxins. There's a lot of gentler detoxes. Another one that I do is, ideally you stop eating earlier in the evening. I'm usually between about 7:30 is when I stop, because I work late. But I do not start eating until about 10 in the morning. So I have 15 hours of not eating any food, which is, you start hitting that 12-hour point and your body starts detoxifying. And then once a month is a great way to also do a fast, just one fast, just drinking water one day a month. Will also help the brain cells, help improve your brain activity, and also it'll help detoxify the body and give the digestive system a rest. So this is a few benefits of detoxifying. It just gives a lot of opportunity for gentle release of these toxins so there's not an overload in the blood, which can also create illness in the body. So where else do we want to go? Along with that, when you're detoxing, you also want to make sure that you're maintaining great cell integrity. So if the cells are not in integrity, then what's happening is when you're detoxing, the stuff is just going into the cells and hiding in the cells, or the parasites, etc., are going into the cells. So we need to create a very strong, stable cell structure, which is going to be part of your essential fatty acids, a part of your vitamin Bs, the fat soluble and the water soluble. I've just overloaded you with tons and tons of information, and each one of those could be hours of delving into topics, and I know quite a bit, and then there's masters who know a lot more. So I'm continuing to study and work and find ways to keep myself healthy and build my health, and how to elongate that journey of health and harmony balance with the body, so it makes it easier for my meditations, easier for me to sit and be present. So this is a lot for one session. So to just go back through is organic biodynamic foods, whole foods, your own garden, moving through using different things, different techniques that I've gone through as far as specific things to eat: Spanish black radish, broccoli, celery to help cleanse, keep cleansing the blood, cleansing the system. Antioxidants like blueberries, acai are really high in antioxidants, also great for the brain, which is part of what we're moving towards and addressing. At some point I'll go into how to assist in brain chemistry and foods that assist in that. Everything that you can move away from toxic loads and chemicals, from your clothing, from your dry cleaning, from the sprays that you use, going towards essential oils. So instead of using furniture polish on your furniture, use a blend of olive oil and lemon essential oil. You've got to use a high quality essential oil. These doTERRAs that I use is medicinal grade. It's the highest quality essential oils that I found, and I've used to use other brands including Young Living. This tops all of those and is really amazing stuff. So going towards using whole food supplements rather than a lot of this crud in Trader Joe's and on most of the aisles, your body's just breaking it down. I had one friend taking 30 different supplements, and he was a triathlete, and he was taking all these things for his health, and then half his body froze up. He thought he had a stroke or had Bell's palsy, an unusual form of Bell's palsy, and what he discovered is through using muscle testing and standard process, what he was taking in was all poison to his body. So he got off all of those loads of supplements and then started moving to whole food supplements and whole food forms. To assist the parotid gland, so no fluoride toothpaste, no teeth whiteners, no SLS in the toothpaste. So there's Tom's and Jason are two brands that have, and Oramir are three brands that have non-SLS, non-fluoride or fluoride-free brands, but they're not every one of their toothpastes are that way. So you got to check and make sure it's free of those forms of toxins. Use oil pulling, use detoxification, having a fast once a month and a fast from the night until 10 in the morning or later if you can. At least 12 hours. If you can get longer, that's great. Essential oils. I think I've covered a lot of things, so hopefully this aligns and harmonizes for you. And then let's just take the last few moments to really return to presence, because that's what this is all about, is how can we address things that are in our life to align those to assist us to be present. So just take in 3 full breaths before we come off of this time together. Deep inhale in. Deep inhale. Deep inhale. Ha ha ha. Beautiful. Namaste.